This week, the universe has quietly chosen you for a streak of financial luck. Yes, you read that right. If this video found you, you're on a short list of people who can turn small, real-life chances into extra cash fast. Watch, because first we'll show 3 simple signals to spot, no complicated jargon. 2 quick moves you can do today, and 1 mistake that always blows it. All with real examples you can copy. Think, a friend who sold a weekend craft and paid rent, a neighbor who asked for a raise and got it, or someone who found an old gadget and flipped it for profit. Nothing mystical, just smart timing. Stick around, and first we'll make this feel like a fun treasure hunt. No crystals, just common sense and a little boldness. Asterisk primary illusion, attention game. First impressions online are built to grab your eyes in a fraction of a second, using bright colors, big faces, bold words, and motion to make you stop scrolling. A thumbnail of a shocked person, a subject line that promises a secret, or a 5-second loop on a social app all do the same job. They interrupt your browsing rhythm and shove themselves into your attention. Social platforms like TikTok and YouTube favor quick engagement. So creators pack that first frame with the loudest signal they can. A close-up face, a dramatic pose, or text that teases a payoff. Because that tiny moment decides whether you click or keep scrolling. People are wired to notice unusual or emotional things, and clever hooks play to that tendency in very plain ways. Curiosity is sparked when information is incomplete. Fear and desire trigger fast reactions and social proof. A crowded comment section or many likes suggests something is worth your time. Think of a street performer waving a bright scarf while a pal quietly takes a wallet. Attention goes to the scarf. Everyday life gives the same pattern. A flashing sale sign draws customers into a shop, or a catchy ringtone pulls a person's gaze. It's simple and a little sneaky, but it works. Spotting the trick becomes easy once you know what to look for. Slow down before you act. Read past the flashy headline or the screaming thumbnail, and check if the content actually delivers what was promised. If an email subject shouts, "You've won," look at the sender and any fine print before celebrating. When shopping, check the total price instead of being dazzled by the % off banner. Turn off autoplay and mute push notifications if you find yourself constantly being dragged into attention traps. Small habits like that stop instant reactions from costing you time or money. Creators can use the same mechanics responsibly, and doing so builds trust rather than irritation. Offer a clear benefit in the first line. Use accurate previews of what follows, and avoid teasing something you don't deliver. A good example is a tutorial that opens with a fast demonstration of a useful result, then explains how to get there. Viewers feel rewarded instead of cheated. Think of it like flirting with honesty instead of catfishing. Try 2 different openings and pay attention to which one keeps people engaged without misleading them. Honesty gets repeat viewers, while flashy lies get one-time clicks and a lot of eye rolls. Asterisk why people believe in being chosen. Brains are wired to turn random events into stories that mean something. People spot patterns in noise, like seeing faces in clouds or reading fate into a song stuck in their head. And that same habit makes a random viral video feel like a personal message. When someone scrolling late at night lands on a clip that says, "You're the chosen one," the brain connects dots. A coincidence becomes a sign. Simple and strangely satisfying. Another reason is emotional payoff. Being told you're special feeds self-worth in a direct way. If life feels uncertain, a short, confident statement that you're singled out for good things reduces worry and gives a quick boost. That's why comments under those videos often read like mini therapy sessions. People tag friends, celebrate, or post a glowing "thank you," as if the universe handed them a consolation prize and a promotion at once. It's short-term comfort with a smile. Social proof plays a big role too. When dozens or hundreds of people comment, "First found it," or "This changed my life," newcomers assume something real is happening. Her behavior is powerful. Think about joining a crowded restaurant because it must be good. Online attention works the same way. The likes and shares become evidence, even when the message itself is vague. Group chat messages, reposts, and glowing testimonials create a feedback loop that keeps the idea alive. Motivated reasoning and confirmation bias keep belief systems intact. People who want more fortune or a sense of destiny will latch onto signs that fit that hope and ignore the rest. A person who's hoping for a job might see a promo titled, "You Are Chosen," and read it as a green light. Later, when nothing immediate changes, they may reinterpret small wins as proof the message worked. It's not magical thinking so much as wishful sorting. Authority and charisma make chosen claims stickier. A charismatic influencer or a persuasive voiceover makes an ordinary claim feel official. The speaker's tone, confident language, or sleek editing lends credibility. Human brains often trust style along with substance. That's why a slick production can persuade more than a careful explanation, and why public figures can rally followers simply by declaring someone special. Practical examples are everywhere. Chain messages promising blessings, if you forward them, rely on the same mechanics. People pass them along because they feel like participation matters. Multi-level schemes and some online coaching pages also tap into the chosen person narrative. Claiming exclusivity makes the offer feel scarce and valuable. Many stick around because they've invested time or money. Once you've bought in, admitting it was meaningless hurts, so people reinterpret signs to stay consistent. Finally, storytelling habits push this belief forward. Cultures love hero arcs. Someone ordinary becomes extraordinary after a sign or test. That narrative is easy to slot into daily life. So when a video claims you're chosen, it supplies a ready-made plot. It feels familiar and exciting, and a little humor helps. After all, being picked by the universe beats being picked last for dodgeball. Asterisk the major turn, breaking expectations. Our brains look for patterns and expect the future to match the past. So a sudden positive change feels startling even when it makes perfect sense. People often underestimate how much their daily habits set up or block big shifts. For example, someone who checks networking messages regularly is far more likely to catch an unexpected job lead than someone who ignores their inbox. It can feel like the rules changed overnight. Short, sharp, and a little bit thrilling. A major turn usually arrives disguised as a small, ordinary thing. A casual comment on a post. An email with 5 words. A neighbor mentioning a contact. These tiny moments can break expectations because most people treat them as noise. Think of a freelancer who treats a random DM as just noise and loses a 6-figure client versus the freelancer who replies promptly and lands a long-term contract. Reply fast. Ask questions. Be clear. And don't ghost an opportunity like it was a blind date that never texted back. Your reaction matters as much as the event itself. When something surprising lands in your lap, pause briefly to evaluate, then move. Prioritize what can scale and politely decline what distracts. If offered a partnership, get simple terms written down, agree on milestones, and protect your time. Small, practical moves like asking for a deposit, drafting a 1-page agreement, or setting a clear delivery timeline turn a lucky break into sustainable income. Do the work well, and people will refer you without you doing sleazy dance moves. Sustaining the turn means turning surprises into repeatable habits. Build a simple system. Log new leads, save a bit of the unexpected income, and create a checklist for onboarding new customers. Keep your network alive by sending short, useful messages, not just holiday moves. Reinvest in the small skills that pay off. Clear contracts, quick responses, quality delivery. That way, the surprise becomes less like lightning and more like a dependable upswing. And yes, a little luck helps, but good habits do the heavy lifting. Plus, they make luck feel polite and on schedule. Asterisk what you found this video really means. Algorithms looked at what you watch, what you pause on, what you scroll past quickly, and then made a decision. Show you stuff that seems likely to grab your attention. That decision can come from a combination of the videos you've watched, the words you typed into search, the groups you belong to, the people you follow, and even the time of day you use the app. For example, If you recently watched several short clips about budgeting or side gigs, the system is more likely to place a financial success video in front of you. Sometimes a friend shares a link directly in a message, and that's all it takes for that clip to appear in your feed at the exact time you open the app. Our brains then take over and give meaning to that placement. People naturally look for reasons and patterns. If something appears right when you're thinking about money, it feels like a sign. That doesn't mean the universe sent it. Rather, it means your attention and the platform's matching system lined up. Confirmation bias plays a part. You notice and remember the times when media found you and forget all the ones that didn't. The result is a strong feeling of being singled out. Funny thing, your brain is a great storyteller, but a mediocre statistician. Social dynamics and marketing techniques amplify the effect. Creators know people respond to personalization, so headlines and thumbnails often act like a bright neon "This is for you" sign. A video captioned as if it were hand-delivered makes sharing and clicks more likely. Someone in your circle might forward it with a note like "check this out," which increases trust instantly. Scammers and clickbaiters use similar tactics too. They rely on the same emotional shortcut. If it feels personal, people act. A simple real-life example. A friend texts a link saying, "This changed my life," and you give it more weight than a random recommendation on the app homepage. Treat the moment as a nudge, not a decree. Look at the source and check for specifics in the video. Are there concrete steps, verifiable claims, or just broad promises? Try small, low-risk tests before committing energy or money. Read a few more articles, ask a knowledgeable friend, or test one suggested tactic for a weekend. If the idea still seems useful after basic checking, go deeper and laugh a little. It's probable that an algorithm did most of the matchmaking, while the universe took a much-needed nap. Asterisk, why most people lose the moment. Opportunities fade when people wait for the perfect moment instead of making the moment perfect. Acting quickly often matters more than acting perfectly, because circumstances change fast and options disappear. When someone stalls until they feel ready, another person who takes a modest, imperfect step can already be 2 moves ahead. This is simple. Timing beats perfection in more situations than people admit. Fear is a huge reason people lose the moment. Doubts like "what if first fail?" or "what if it's the wrong choice?" freeze action. For example, someone might see a job opening that fits, but delay applying because they don't meet every bullet in the description. Meanwhile, the company hires the applicant who applied confidently with most, not all, qualifications. It's not that the first person was less capable, they just waited too long to show it. Overthinking causes another type of loss, analysis paralysis. People reread the same pros and cons list until the opportunity has been taken. Contrast that with a simple approach. Try a small version of the idea first. A baker who worries about opening a full store can test demand with weekend markets instead of drafting endless business plans. Small tests keep momentum and give real feedback, which is often more useful than hypothetical perfect planning. Social pressure and comparison also pull people off course. When friends or social feeds highlight polished success, some freeze and wait to reach that level before stepping forward. That's misleading, because most visible success is the end of a long, messy process. A quick move often outperforms waiting to look perfect. Commit to doing one visible, imperfect thing. Post a demo, call the lead, book the meeting, and you'll learn faster than staring at someone else's highlight reel. Asterisk, the unpleasant truth about financial success. Financial success typically comes from small choices made over a long time, not from a single lucky break. People who build lasting wealth do one simple thing repeatedly. They spend less than they earn and put the difference to work. That sounds boring because it is. Skip the flashy hype. Consistent saving, steady investing, and avoiding high-interest debt are the real engines behind most real outcomes. A friend who stopped buying lunch out 3 times a week and started packing leftovers didn't suddenly become rich, but his emergency cushion and peace of mind grew faster than his cravings for avocado toast. Hard trade-offs are part of the deal. Expect to sacrifice time, sleep, and sometimes social comfort, at least for a while. A small business owner might celebrate a client win and then miss a family dinner while finishing the invoices. Freelancers often spend evenings cold emailing potential clients. It's not glamorous, but it works. Rejection will be frequent. Rejection emails build character. Handling that steady stream of no and learning from it separates people who eventually get steady clients from those who give up after a few tries. Earning more money is not the same as getting richer. It's a truth that many high earners learn the hard way when lifestyle inflation swallows raises and bonuses. Practical moves matter. Automate savings so you don't have to think about it. Pay down high-interest debt first, and keep a short-term emergency buffer so life doesn't force bad financial choices. For example, someone who automatically funnels part of each paycheck into an investment account won't be tempted to re-spend that raise on a new gadget. Simple habits like that make a bigger difference than clever investment tips or timing the market. The mental game is as important as the math. Patience, curiosity, and the willingness to learn from mistakes are the quiet ingredients of success. Learn to negotiate for pay, to ask for feedback, and to diversify income sources slowly. Side gigs sometimes turn into main ones. You won't control every variable, and luck plays a part, but disciplined systems increase the odds a lot. Keep it steady, keep it boring, and remember, a good plan beats a great impulse by every single time. Asterisk, what the universal really tests. People who talk about cosmic tests usually mean real-world traits being checked, like discipline, honesty, and how you handle change. These are not mystical pop quizzes. They show up as everyday situations that require choices. For example, discipline shows up when you stick to a budget on a tight month, or when you keep treating a small side project like a job until it grows. That quiet, steady work matters more than dramatic one-time wins. One clear thing the universe seems to test is how you manage sudden opportunity. If a new client pays you well or a side hustle goes viral, the test is whether you plan for that, spend it all, or use it to strengthen your foundation. Practical steps include separating unexpected income into clear buckets, bills, savings, and new investments, and getting basic help if you need it, like talking to someone who understands money. Acting fast without thinking is a common trap. Pausing to ask reasonable questions often makes the best difference. Responsibility and record keeping get checked too. People who track where money comes from and where it goes avoid headaches later. Keep simple invoices, receipts, and notes about deals. That habit protects you from tax problems, misunderstandings, or lost opportunities. A real-life example. A freelancer who saved every receipt and kept client emails had little trouble when a client questioned billing, while another who tossed records into a drawer had to spend days sorting through chaos. Small habits prevent big messes. Integrity and how you treat others show up right after success. Friends and family reactions are part of the test. Generosity is good, but so is knowing when to set boundaries. Saying yes to every request can drain resources and relationships. A balanced response is to be honest about limits, offer help in ways that actually work, and avoid sudden splurges meant to prove something. People remember how you acted at the start of success more than the fancy parties. Adaptability and learning are measured constantly. Markets shift, clients change, and new rules or taxes can appear that affect your plans. Will you learn a new skill, ask for help, or stubbornly cling to old methods? Those who refresh their knowledge and accept small course corrections tend to last. It's less dramatic than a lightning strike of fortune, but far more reliable. Finally, patience and perspective are part of the exam. Wealth that lasts is often built slowly through repeated good choices rather than a single lucky event. Laugh a little at the idea of destiny doing the heavy lifting. Treat opportunities like tools you were given, not guarantees. Keep simple records, ask for advice when needed, stay honest, and be ready to change course. Those are the things the universe is really checking. Asterisk who really become the chosen one. People who make steady financial progress tend to do a few simple things over and over. They build habits. They save a bit regularly, cut expensive habits that don't bring value, and avoid piling up high-interest debt. Many also treat skills like currency, learning things people will pay for, then trading those skills for income. That combination of steady habits and useful skills is the foundation most experts point to when asked who actually gets lucky with money. Practical steps matter more than flashy signs. For example, someone working a full-time job who picks up a weekend gig offering a skill they enjoy, like tutoring, graphic design, or small repairs, can increase their cash flow and buy time to invest in a bigger idea. Another person might trim recurring subscriptions they forgot about and use that freed up money to cover emergencies, avoiding expensive credit when life throws a curveball. Both examples show the same core thing. Consistent small choices add up. Being called the chosen one, in this context, usually means you were prepared when opportunity showed up. That's not mystical. It's showing up with a habit of learning and practicing, with a cushion of savings, and with relationships that open doors. Someone who networks politely and follows up after meetings is far more likely to hear about a job or partnership than someone who waits passively. Opportunity favors the prepared. Also, resilience plays a role. People who treat setbacks as feedback and keep trying are the ones who eventually convert chances into real gains. Attitude is practical, not magical. People who become financially successful often trade short-term thrills for longer-term wins. They delay impulse buys sometimes. They ask for fair pay instead of hoping someone notices, and they diversify income, so one lost paycheck doesn't mean disaster. Throw in a little creativity, offering a service in a new way, repackaging skills for different audiences, and you multiply possibilities. And yes, a bit of luck helps, but luck is more useful when you have something ready to sell, someone to sell it to, and the guts to say yes when the moment comes. Asterisk key question for the viewer, retention. A single, well-placed question at the start of a video can flip a casual scroller into an attentive viewer. It taps into a simple human reaction, curiosity. Use that nudge to make viewers want the answer, because unanswered questions are like open tabs in the brain. They keep people coming back for closure. For example, when a friend of mine heard a short clip ask, "Want to stop overpaying for things you don't use?" She watched straight through to see the tip. People react to direct, useful prompts. It's straightforward and effective. Make the question specific, relatable, short. Ask about something the viewer feels or faces every day, and frame it around them with words like you or your. Instead of vague, do you want to improve your life? Try, would you like one easy change that could free up more cash each month? That narrows focus and promises a concrete outcome. Short phrasing wins. Long-winded questions lose energy and attention. So trim the fluff and keep the main curiosity at center stage. A quick, punchy line is easier to remember and share. Think about timing and delivery. Put the question early, right after the title or visual hook. Then give a small pause so the brain leans in. Follow up quickly with an immediate micro value. A single tip, a surprising fact, or a quick demo that partially answers the question. This satisfies the need for immediate payoff while keeping a bigger reveal or bonus for later to sustain interest. Visuals help. Show the question as on-screen text while the speaker says it, or pair it with a quick cut to something surprising. That combo acts like a tiny spoonful of sugar before the fuller lesson. Invite a response, but make the ask natural and playful. Ask viewers to drop one word in the comments, vote in a poll, or stick around for a short bonus at the end. Simple interactions boost investment. Test different wordings to see what lands. Change the tone, make it more urgent or more playful. Try a humorous take sometimes. A little laugh can break the scrolling trance. Keep refining the question until it feels like a friendly tap on the shoulder that says, "This matters to you," and you'll notice more people staying and actually watching. Asterisk the turning point. A turning point in your finances often begins with one clear change in behavior that you actually stick to. When someone starts tracking where their money goes and stops letting small purchases slip by unnoticed, they can redirect that cash towards something that grows instead of disappears. A simple example is noticing weekly takeout adds up and choosing to cook a few meals. That's extra money that can cover an unexpected bill or seed a small savings account. Small, consistent shifts like this set the stage for bigger moves. Another common trigger is turning a skill or hobby into extra income. People who tutor, freelance, sell handmade items, or offer services on evenings and weekends can create a second stream of cash that changes how they make decisions. Negotiating a raise or asking for better terms at work is also a practical pivot. Sometimes one conversation opens a lot of doors. Even selling a single item you no longer use can be the first taste of momentum. It's not glamorous, but it's telling. The moment you realize you can generate money beyond your main income, your confidence and options expand. Practical steps accelerate the shift. Build a simple habit like sending a fixed amount into a savings account every payday, or automate bill payments so you don't miss due dates and incur fees. Pay down the highest interest debt first. Cutting interest payments is like finding extra income without a second job. Keep a short list of 3 financial priorities: an emergency cushion, debt reduction, and a small investment in learning a marketable skill, and attack them one at a time. For example, someone might stop buying subscriptions they never use, funnel that money into a course that teaches a valuable skill, then use freelance work to turn that skill into ongoing income. Small choices compounded over weeks change the trajectory. The mental switch matters as much as the practical moves. When you start treating money decisions as experiments, try this, measure results, tweak, you stop fearing mistakes and start learning faster. Celebrate tiny wins. Sell an unused item and enjoy coffee. Then direct the rest to a goal. Humor helps. Think of financial habit building as training a very stubborn houseplant. Consistent watering works better than dramatic speeches. Watch for signals that a turning point is happening. Unexpected offers, repeat client requests, a steady rise in savings, or simply feeling less anxious about bills. Those clues show that a sequence of small, sensible choices has begun to produce real change. All right, so quick recap. Shift your mindset from one day to today. Take small daily actions. Track and manage your money like it's a plant you don't want to kill. Invest in a skill that pays. And be open to opportunities. Often they look like awkward conversations or a new app on your phone. First, know it sounds wild to say the universe condemned you to success, but think of it like a gentle shove. The rest is up to you. Imagine a jar on your counter. Drop 1 coin a day, learn 1 new thing a week, and suddenly you've got a habit and a slow-growing jar that surprises you. If this resonated with you, share in the comments what small step you'll take this week. Read them first and encourage others. Like if you want more helpful and practical tips, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video, where I'll talk about the 3 deepest fears that stop a woman from becoming rich, according to Carl Jung. Click the bell so you don't miss any. Take your first small step right now. The universe has already started the timer, but you still need to press start.